everything I knitted and crocheted in 2021. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bash Harry and this is the Harry Knit. It is the end of 2021 and I thought, you know what's a good idea? If I just reflected back and look at all the pieces that I've made in the past year. I would like to note it's not a lot because I just started knitting again this year back when we were in the second wave of COVID in August, and admittedly I did knit more than anticipated, so I just wanted to reflect and see how much progress I've made along the way. There's always something on my needles, whether I'm knitting something, maybe some small projects I finish while I'm making the bigger ones. There are so many things that I have recently made that I absolutely love. Some, but that's the thing with 2021 and reflecting back on everything you made, because even though some of these pieces I might not love, they still took a lot of effort and I should just appreciate it because they took a lot of effort. So I thought it would be a great idea if I would compile all of them and just make a video sharing all the knitted pieces I've made. I do want to note though, these are all the projects that I've made for myself, and all the pieces that I made for other people won't be in this video because they're no longer with me. I've linked everything in the description box down below so you can check that out with my links to all the patterns, the yarn, and even my Instagram at the Harry Knit, which you should check out. Thank you. That's all I want to say. Let's get started. I have a plan to split this by craft, so I'll do knitting and then do crochet. So we'll do the knits first. I guess chronologically, by the time that I finished it, the first one that I want to show you that I finished is this. And this is the Space Face by Artsy Farts. Yes, it's Artsy Farts. I made it in the size small. It's like a tank top and it's very cute. You could see the face of the person and I do adore it. I use Caron Simply Soft Solids, which is 100% acrylic. I do love it. I might recreate it again just because of some problems in the stitching here and here, because this was my first Intarsia piece, and so there were a little bit of gaps and things, and I think the gauge was slightly off. That being said, I love the colors. I love that you could see a face there, and I'd probably make this again. I don't know whether I would frog it. I don't think that's my intention of this piece, but I might sell it in the future or donate it if I decide that I might not want to wear it. Is this something that I would wear out? Definitely, probably with like this shirt underneath it, but it's definitely one of my favorite pieces, mostly because of the Intarsia. You're gonna notice that I use a lot of Caron Simply Soft because that was what was available at the time. I think it took me about 5 days to a week, and I'm super proud of it. Okay, what is the next piece? This one I finished in September. This is the Color Quadrant Crop by James and Watts, also using Caron Simply Soft. To be honest, my mom had a lot of it and I just wanted to use up as much as I could. I kind of think it's inspired by the Scooby-Doo gang. You've got Velma, Daphne, and a little bit of Shaggy. Not enough white or blue for Fred, unfortunately, but this is absolutely beautiful. It was my first time trying I-cord for the edging, and I honestly fell in love with doing I-cord. It's so easy and it gives this really nice finished look to the garment. I also made this one slightly longer than asked because I wanted to be able to tuck in my clothes, but if you wanted to make it cropped, I think it would look really great too. Would I do this again? I probably would, and this didn't take long. It only took about 5 days because it is 2 panels seamed together and then you do the sleeves. I think this is like one of my more comfier pieces, and I wish I had like some strange event where I could wear this out just because it's so nice. It is so pretty. The next piece that I made, which is probably one of my favorite designs that I've ever seen. It is one of the most beautiful patterns and definitely the most intricate, and it is the Lana Vest by Irene Lin. So it's this one right here. This is the Lana Vest. It felt beautiful because of every single thing about it. It is made with Elise Cotton Gold. It's a cotton acrylic blend, and the yarn they call for in the pattern is Aran. I didn't have Aran, and I actually wanted it to be more lightweight because I do live near the equator. I wanted it to be light and breezy, and I think it works perfectly with this yarn. I was so worried I didn't have enough yarn for the ribbing. I did it in 2 different colors, but just they were the same tone, which I like, so it just gives it a little bit more personality. Is that the word? This one took 3 weeks to finish because it was my first time doing cables in a very, very, very long time. And I don't know about you, but cables can be very confusing. There's a few mistakes here and there that, like, to a regular person you wouldn't notice. There's a mistake right here and at the back over here. Your girl made a mistake. Please be careful when you are doing cables or charts, because sometimes they can be very confusing and you just have to keep your eye on this project a lot. I would highly recommend this if you are interested in making cables. I might make a cable vest next year for myself with my own pattern, but making it a bit more fitted because this is quite loose on me. It is very, very loose. So I'm probably going to make one for myself that is a little more form-fitting, just because that's how I go. I don't really like oversized pieces, but this is very good. Where else do we got to go? Okay, so if you saw my knitting podcast last month, link in bio, or like literally just check my YouTube channel, I made a cardigan that was inspired by Hope Macaulay on Instagram. She does these amazing, beautiful, large pieces, and I wanted one that was a similar color, but maybe not the same kind of heaviness to it, which is where this cardigan comes in. This is my Need to Have cardigan by Brenda Lim, and it's so pretty. It looks like a paddle pop ice cream, and it's so big and fluffy. It's using drop snow, 100% wool. I try it on now, but I'm wearing my watch, and the fibers get everywhere. This is an absolute monster of a project, and it did take long. When I got it all sorted out, it maybe took only 3 days, about 15 hours to make. I did a bit different from the original pattern. I wanted I-cords here, and I made the sleeve a bit shorter and then did a regular rib instead of the twisted rib as she recommended. This overall is probably the one that I get the most compliments on because it is so big and fluffy. Would I make it again? Probably. I might make my own pattern though, because I do love the balloon sleeves, but it is just really, really big. It uses 15mm needles, and I double stranded the yarn, so it is a thick boy, and unfortunately I can't wear it that often here. I went out to watch The Eternals wearing this and it was fine, but then once you get out in the hot sun, not the best idea, especially when it rains, because wool has a tendency to like smell when it rains, so you got to be careful with that. If you are a beginner and you want something that's easy, the Beatific Brenda's cardigan, absolutely beautiful. The final knit that I'm it's probably gonna be the final piece that I finished this year, and I'm saving the best for last. It's my personal favorite. It is the one that I absolutely adore. It's by Jessie May Designs on Ravelry and Instagram. It has her Hello from My Colors crop. So it's this one right here. It's my baby. It is genuinely the most beautiful thing I have ever made. And I can say that because I've made a lot of pieces. But no, genuinely, it is so beautiful to me. Just the way that the colors are, the color work, the intarsia. I love that this pattern has just so many designs to it. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but every pattern is different and it still flows well because of the color scheme that I chose. A lot of people on Ravelry, they chose very colorful, bright patterns, and though they're so beautiful, it's not really my thing. I wanted to keep it quite within my palette, which is like blues and golds, and I did it with a white base. I made this because I saw the Love Stitch make it and it looked so beautiful. The only difference that I did was I changed up the design here and here because it was originally going to be vertical rows. I didn't quite like that, so I did a speckle design instead, and I left this one just plain white, and then I lengthened the sleeves, added the speckle, just so it looked more like a t-shirt. Would I recommend this for people? I don't know, because I think Jessie's designs are just so easy to follow. They're beautiful, they're amazing, but they are a little bit on the more intermediate side. Color work is so much fun, and these just flew off the needles. I think it took me about 3 weeks to finish with some minor, very minor issues. So you probably can't tell, but like that's a mistake. There's a mistake here somewhere. Yeah, it's here. To the untrained eye, you wouldn't notice. I use Scheepjes Catona, which is 100% cotton. She does recommend non-superwash yarn, but I wanted the stitches to be more defined, especially for the color work, and I think I chose well. All right, it's just getting less and less. Those are all the knits that I have finished in 2021. I have a few more on my needles. I have a few work in progress that I just know I'm not gonna finish by the time that 2022 comes around. So let's move on to crochet. Crochet is something very new to me. I just got into it during COVID, and I've only been doing it for 3 months now. So all the projects that I've made are very, very beginner friendly. I'm gonna start off with the first thing I ever made, and I actually have a YouTube video on it. It is a Skylar rib top from Grace from For the Frills. This was my first ever crop top vest thing, and I had a few troubles with it, mostly because it was my first time doing a crop top. I was in between sizes, and I thought I could, compare knitting and crochet very easily. Not true. And it stretches. So this ultimately was a bit big on me. The straps were a big problem for me because I did it a bit differently, and I thought I could save it with daisies. And you know what? I think I did. I think the daisies were a nice touch to add. It makes it a bit more fun, a bit more playful, very cute. Ultimately, even though it was a little difficult to make the process, I really enjoy the final piece. I might give this away, to be honest. I love it, I think it's beautiful, but I might give it away. Just because I am in the process of decluttering my wardrobe, and though I do love the pieces that I make, I have to also think about space, and I do not have space for this. What is the other thing that I made? Ooh, yes. This one is probably what I would consider the only fail that I've made this year. And it's not a fail because of the pattern, because the pattern is amazing. I love the checkerboard. It was just that I did not have enough yarn. And this is what it looks like. It is the Checkmate Vest by Red Bean Crochet. And I just keeps falling. I'll say this, I do adore the pattern. I think it looks so cute. It's very boxy. Unfortunately, I just did not have enough yarn to fill up the rest of the checkerboard pattern. And, I just keep doing that. I'm just gonna take it off. It kind of sits very awkwardly, like right here. And it doesn't look nice on my body. So I might redo this pattern when I have more yarn. I've come to realize that crochet just eats up so much yarn that knitting doesn't. This feels very warm and heavy. It's also made with the Caron Simply Soft Solids, as well as the last vest I showed you. This one is beautiful. It's so pretty, but unfortunately, I might consider it like my only fail this year, purely because of the way that it looks. That being said, I'm actually kind of into checkerboard. I know it's like the new thing for 2020, 2021. It's very 2012 checkerboard bands and all, but I like it. I might frog it so I can make something else out of it because the yarn is really nice. It's really good yarn. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I think those are the only tops and sweaters that I've made. I want to move on to the accessories. I love crochet for accessories. I think for me personally, I want to start making more hats, like bucket hats, bags with crochet, and keep my pieces that I wear as knits, because that's what I have the most fun in. So I want to show you the 2 bags that I made this year. The first one is called the Color Block Bag. It is cute and it's nice. I have not brought it out yet, because I don't know when. I feel like this is a very beach bag. I think I used I used Drops Cotton Light, and I used Natura fibers. It was one that was like I stole from my mom. I steal a lot from her, thank you. And so this is very pretty. I don't like how the bottom looks. It's almost phallic. This is probably my fault considering I chose pink and white. I haven't worn it out yet, but I will when I go to the beach one of these days. This was a very easy pattern. I think it only took me about 2 days. The great part about crochet, if you're into it, is that it takes so little time to finish, whereas with knitting, even the smallest project can take up to a day. So highly recommend crochet, especially for accessories. The other bag that I made, and this was from my own pattern. I did follow, I was looking at patterns on YouTube, but then I just kind of followed my own, especially with the straps, and this is a checkerboard bag. You can tell I did not have enough yarn for the straps because a little bit of it is white and then most of it is black. Although I feel like I could just do that and it would still look really cute, but it would be too short for mine. This is beautiful. It is lovely. I like it. I don't know what else to say about it. It feels very Valentine's Day and it's very 2021 fashion. I used Paintbox Aran yarn, one in white and the other one in ruby. Take a guess of which is which. I added a little bit of straps here, here, and here, and then just elongated it so it looks more like a bag and gave me enough space and room inside. I still need to sew it up. I want to add a lining and I also want to add like a clasp, kind of like a metal clasp, so it fits very well. That or a zipper, I haven't decided. So that is all that I made in 2021. It feels nice to be able to talk about my projects and everything that I made and hopefully give you some inspiration on what to make next. Knitting and crochet, being a crafter, is such a fun thing to do because you're making something out of love and every stitch that you make has love seeped into it. I like to believe in that at least. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an amazing 2021 and an even better 2022. My name is Badge Harry. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also let me know what your favorite thing is. I don't know, for me personally, it's gonna be that one. The hellos from My Colors Crop. He's just so pretty, I like it. And that is it for me. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.